Hi YouTube, welcome to my channel, Maddie Makes, and I am going to do a video today on fermenting some pepper mash, hot pepper mash, so that we can eventually have some, I can make some hot sauce. I have an overabundance of cayenne peppers, and so I want to make hot sauce to give to my family and friends. So today we're going to talk about the equipment that we're going to need. Hopefully this won't take too long. We are going to need, for purposes of this batch that I'm making, I am using 27.7 ounces of cayenne red peppers, which we have right here. I'm going to put those aside for a moment. And then we have, I have about 2 ounces of red pepper. I'm using red pepper just to sweeten it up a little bit. I thought that, you know, it kind of offsets a little bit of the heat. I have 5 garlic cloves. Garlic is a preference, and so you have to determine how much garlic you want. I like garlic, so here we have our 5 garlic cloves, okay? And then you're gonna need some salt, kosher salt or pickling salt, not the regular table salt, okay? And how much salt you're gonna need depends on how much your peppers weigh. So you're gonna have to measure them, and you can do anywhere from 2% to 10%. I chose to do a little bit more than 6%, which for me came out to be about 1.70 ounces, okay? So that's what I'm going to use. That's just, again, first of all, you need to have enough salt, because you don't want, peppers, in the fermenting process, peppers need salt so that they can, so the product doesn't go bad, okay? So you need to have, please take the time to measure it out, right? Measure it out and make sure that you're putting anywhere from 2% to 10% of the weight of your peppers that you're using, all right? And then the other things you're gonna need are a blender, and you're gonna need some sort of jar to put it in. I do canning as well, so I just use one of my canning jars. Now I will say this to you, that all of your equipment that you use you should sterilize it, in my opinion. Okay, that's just my humble opinion. So I went ahead and I sterilized all of this. I sterilized the top, the lid, and the jar, okay? I did that before, and I made sure that this was washed. I'm funny, I put bleach on everything, so I washed this down with some bleach, just because I can't put it in, you know, extremely hot water. And if you notice, this is from my pickling, my canning set. I like it better because it's a wide mouth funnel. It's a wide mouth funnel, and it'll let more of the mash pour through than, you know, some of my other funnels, okay? So with that said, we're gonna put all this stuff aside. This is really not a hard process at all. It's really, when you're making the mash, it's just a matter of getting everything in and getting it all blended together. So I'm not sure that you need to see necessarily the blending process. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to put you on pause, go do the blending, and then I'll come back and show you the end result. And so I thought I'd bring the blender over here so you could see kind of what it looks like. I just went ahead and I started chopping up the peppers. Let me give you a look. And that's kind of what it looks like. I don't take the seeds out. And then from there, it's pretty much where I want it to be. I'm going to add that salt. And I'm going to add that garlic, and I'm going to give it a few more pulses. Bear with me getting this thing to work. And that's our pepper mash, okay? And so, oh my goodness. Sorry. I opened it up, and the power of the pepper came out. So here's our pepper mash. And all I'm gonna do now, and you guys, it's so powerful. If you were here, oh my goodness, I keep inhaling it. So just for safety purposes, you can wear a mask, you can wear gloves. I've made hot sauce before, so you know, I kind of know what to watch for, but I did. Okay, so I'm finally back after having inhaled too much peppers, inhaled too many peppers, the smell. So we're back and we have our jar that we talked about, and we're just gonna take our mash and we're gonna start putting it into our jar. Can you see how that goes in? Real nice, like, because it's so wide. And I'm making a mess. I should get a spoon. But this life is not perfect, and so I am not going to try to be perfect. And we just keep on at this until we fill the jar almost up. We have to leave what's called some head space, because when this starts fermenting, it's gonna expand. I'll show you what it looks like when we get there. Okay, so I might do one more scoop. Okay, and then I'm going to set this aside. Be careful. And we're going to set this aside. I have a smaller jar that I'll put this in a little bit later. But then we have this, and here we go. Just going to shake it out a little bit. I actually probably can get a little bit more in there. Notice I didn't take out the seeds. But when it comes time to make the hot sauce, what I'll end up doing is I will end up straining it, which will be a different video in about 2 weeks. And this is really good when it's all said and done. Okay, we'll set this aside again. And it's about where we want it to be. If you notice, can you see about where it is? My hands are in the way, I'm sorry you guys. And then people do different things, but I'm gonna tell you what has worked for me, so I just kind of stick with it. I have seen people buy rubber bands and cheesecloth and put that on top. I've seen people actually go buy there are these fermenting tops that you can buy and it releases the carbon dioxide that builds up in here, okay? But I don't do all that, all right? I have my jar here, and if you see it has a little removable top. I'm sorry, you guys. And then I'm just gonna put that on there. And what I have to do, that's the only thing about this process. So if you don't want to go buy all that fancy new equipment, see how it looks? All that fancy new equipment. This method has worked for me since I've been making hot sauce. All I do is put this in a dark, cool place, which is usually a little ledge in my basement because it's nice and cool down there. And then I sit that down there for about 2 weeks. But every 2 days or so, I unscrew it and I burp it. You gotta do that about every 2 days, okay? And that's just to get that gas, those gases, the bad gases out, okay? You gotta go ahead and do that every couple of days. And that's it. That's it to making hot pepper mash. I will make another video in another 2 weeks. I feel like 2 weeks works for me. Some people do it longer. Some people will let it sit for a month, but I like 2 weeks. It works for me. Again, I'm just going with what has worked for me in the past, but you can do what you want to do. But I'll make another video in 2 weeks once this is all done so that we can actually prepare the hot sauce. Okay, thank you for joining me.